PA Finley, ThePAFway, coming at you live. This is an addendum, but I think I'm going to make it part C, but it's going to be kind of short. Because I want to touch upon one of the aspects, part 12, section C, if you will. I don't know what we're going to do with this thing. But one of the aspects, and a lot of you who went through this process of writing down their personal history, okay, we got to touch upon some stuff. Sending out an atomic mushroom cloud explosion of love all across the globe. When do we not need that, right? Okay? Unfortunately, a lot of us have a lot of sexual shocks. Some of them was forced upon us. And this is going to be, excuse my language, this is going to be a very touchy subject, but for those of you who have done this work, you have those experiences on paper. So we got to touch upon that. A lot of guilt comes from here. A lot of us have histories of the perpetrator of the aggressive sexual experiences. We got to touch upon that. Listen, first of all, to those on the receiving end, and some of us have both, because that tends to be projected that way throughout our course of our life. Now, I'm not excusing negative sexual behavior. I'm not excusing, rape, molestation, or any of those things. But a lot of us have that on our paperwork. The receiving end or the giving end or whatever. Or some of us have those in our histories that we conveniently left out of our paperwork. I'm gone, man. You true. Even to those who didn't put it down, you're going to have to put it down. I'm sorry. I know a lot of us skipped over some stuff. But you gotta put that stuff down too. Because you gotta understand, this is you. And if you deny any part of yourself, then you deny your whole self. Now, I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna get through this. I'm gonna walk you through this. So you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. You know what I'm saying? You can listen, this is another one of those Godzillas. This is another one of those. This is still a Geico. This is still, this is still you.
Who are you? Do you know who you are? Who are you? Do you know who you be? Who are you? Do you know the one you don't call? Who are you? Do you know the one you call me? Who are you? Do you know the soul inside you? are you? Do you know the spirit within? Who are you? Do you know where you're gonna go? Who are you? Do you know where you've been? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Who are you? Do you know who you be? Who are you? Do you know the one you don't call? Who are you? Do you know the one you call me?
So, this is who you are. You have to embrace all of you. All of you is beautiful. All of you is love. All of you. And this is the part where a lot of people, like to the atheist community who don't believe in God. And a lot of this has to do with why. Because how could God allow such, horrors to exist? And be loving and all of that stuff that they claim that God is. But what you got to understand is this. Evil and good was created at the very instant God separated God's self from oneself. Because God was both of those things and neither of those things prior to. But once God separated God's self, there was good and evil. That was the tree of the knowledge of life. It was created at that particular time. But both is God. There is a consequence for this action. And there are consequences for every action. For every decision that we make, there is a negative aspect to it. And so, I don't know how much that's going to show you, the individual on the receiving end of a molestation, of a rape. These are the greatest crimes. Child molestation. As a child, a lot of us, way more than you think, unfortunately. Way more than we know. The average, we walk out the house into a world where we meet hundreds of people throughout the course of a day. The majority of those people have been either molested or raped, male and female. And this is why we wonder why relationships is not, on point. We have to understand that this is a dilemma in this world. But this process that we're doing is going to eliminate that if you stay true to it. You have to stay true to it. You have to embrace who you are and all of that. Now, let's connect the dots with God on that. God was experiencing everything that you experienced. You thought you was alone, but you was never alone. To those who've been raped, those who've been molested as children, first of all, my heart goes out to you. I happen to be one of the ones who didn't experience that. So it made it a lot easier for me to do. But guess what? It was important that I didn't experience those things so that I can do my process easily, so I can bring it to you. Now, I'm going to reach out and encourage those who have gone through those experiences and is going through this process and did put those experiences on the paper. Now I'm going to ask you to step to the plate to represent, and that way you can be the leader and the teacher and the sponsor, if you will, of all the other ones, which is the majority. You'd be surprised how many of us, and I always connect us because I understand I am connected. I am a part of that pool. Whether I'm a part of it or not in my mind is irrelevant. If you have been, I have been. And that's the way this thing is. So, but it's important for those of you who has been through these horrific and highly negative experiences, and then go through this process with me, through this particular Part 12 process, all the way to the end and get your graduation and get your diploma. It's important for you to step up and say, yes, I have been through those experiences, and I still went through this process. And I am one with myself, and it is the best thing I've ever done in my life for me. And then say, I can now assist you. And I encourage you to step up and step forward, because this is how we're going to erase that. This is how we're going to tap in. And that once we go through this process, it won't be necessary so much for others to go through it. So it's a all we need is one type of situation, because one is all and all is one. So we can literally help other people that's doing it to stop doing it. And we can help other people who is being done for them to not to have it done no more. We can, if it's big, and there's some of us that was done continuously. Listen, my heart goes out to you as much as it humanly can, because I have not personally experienced those things in this lifetime. I'm sure I have. That's why I feel it so much. I've experienced them on both sides. See what we have to do, and that's what this process is about. It's about changing our minds, elevating our minds in awareness of what is. We cannot knock either side, because both sides are us. I cannot knock the negative of what happens, because the negative of what happened is me. I can't say, why would God allow all of this if there was a God? Why? I can't say that. I can say whatever I want to say. But that's the question. But the answer to that question is that God is all. And so the picking and choosing would make God not all. In all, of all, is all. It would limit God. It would limit the source, which is ridiculous. So just know that God has experienced exactly what you experienced. The pain, the hurt, the turmoil, the abandonment, all of the stuff that is our pain. And then there's the forgiveness factor. We have to forgive, because we need forgiveness. We can't be running around here holding stuff in and holding grudges and wanting to hurt people and kill people and attack people and get them back. And we're getting ourselves back. We're hurting ourselves. Listen, we're just over there. It was our other self that did this to us and brought this pain upon us. And then some of us took that pain and began to hurt other people. We have to break the chains. And this ain't directly connected to slavery. This is connected to humanity. This is a human problem. And so there's a seriousness to this thing. And yes, I brought a lot of humor to it because I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm trying. It's serious. It is. But I laugh sometimes because I want you to understand that it's not all serious. Nothing is all serious. Nothing is all anything. Everything is both. If it's the opposite side of it, it's that too. The good is bad and the bad is good. All of this stuff is the same. And we must embrace the all of it. You can't be picking and choosing. You start picking and choosing, you're going to start picking and choosing your children. And you can't leave none behind. You have to go through this process and embrace all of you. All of you. And it's a lot of you that a lot of people don't want to embrace. I get that. But when you do, you'll see it's the best thing you could ever done for you. And then this is how you help others. We want to know what can we do about how to change the world. What can we do to help people? And what can we do to help you? That alone is having a heck of an effect all across the globe. All it takes is one. All it takes is you. So let's go through this process. Let's continue. Even those of us who've had these horrific experiences, even you. Let's complete this process. Thanks, you guys. I just wanted to add that on because it just came to mind. Wait a minute, man. There's a lot of, I talked about the pain, but I moved on. I didn't hang out on it. But I've thought about it a little bit more, and I was thinking, well, what would be the worst pain? Obviously, there's different levels of worst pain. We all have our own identity to what that worst pain would be. But in my mind, what about some experiences that I didn't have and that some of us did? What would that be? And I'm going to tell you now, that molestation thing, I always like to go to the worst of the worst. I want to go because that, to me, if I address that, I can address anything else. And so I'm addressing this now, and I want this is a search. This is a reach out to all of you who have those negative experiences in your life. On both sides of the coin. The doer and the done. Both of you. This is how you stop doing to the doer. Put it on your paper. Let's go over it. This is how you stop doing. It's healing. This is how you heal. You got to get this stuff out of you. It's destroying you. It's dividing you. It's keeping you divided amongst yourself. We want to unite the race. We want to unite the people. We want to unite the planet. And we're divided. We must unite self with self. And the rest is easy. So, let's do this work. It's worthy work. It's healing. You are worthy of it. I don't care who you are. If you're looking at this, you're worthy. And there's guilt. This will erase the guilt. Guilt is holding us back. Guilt is the number one stopper of all things needed to be done. Because if you don't feel you're righteous, how can you push righteousness? This process is going to eliminate guilt. The biggest chain there is to humanity. And we're going to tap into that too. This is a human chain, and that is the number one. That is that thing because we think we're not worthy. Okay, you guys, I'm running out of time and space or whatever it is blinking on me. Let me know I got to shut it down. So, that being said, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know, you guys. I know it's a lot of you guys out there. I love you. I love you. I don't care which side you're on. Yes, that means I love the pedophiles too. See, you love is, you gotta understand. Love is not selective. As much crap I done did in my life, much stuff I'm wrong I done did, and I'm gonna be, oh man, that's too wrong. Come on. Wrong is wrong. Let's keep it. So, keep pushing, keep doing your stuff, man. And keep following the series. Get your degree, man. Let's go get it. It's gonna be love. It ain't gonna be. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome for you, and that's gonna help everybody else around you. Believe me, it's gonna help everybody. So, that being said, man, peace. Y'all know what time it is. Stay beautiful as you are.
Do you know who are you? Where you been? Who are you? Who are we? It's an age-old question. To be or not to be? That was the question. To be and not to be. That is now the answer.